Welcome to Knowledge Hub.
I remember the day I stepped back into the orphanage, a place that held so many memories from my childhood. It was 1975 when I first played here, surrounded by laughter and friends. I was just a little girl, full of dreams and hope, unaware of the path that lay ahead. I was adopted, and my life changed forever, but a part of me always wondered about the children left behind. Fast forward 30 years, and I'm back, this time with my husband and our 7-year-old son, Simon. We came to help special children, to give back in a way that felt right. But as we walked through those familiar halls, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was different. Simon, with his bright eyes and boundless curiosity, began to talk about his invisible friends. At first, I thought it was just a phase, a product of his imagination. Kids often create worlds of their own, don't they? But as he spoke, I felt a chill run down my spine. One day, while exploring the grounds, Simon stumbled upon a cave. I could see the excitement in his eyes, but it was mixed with something else, something I couldn't quite place. Later, he met a social worker who dropped a bombshell. Simon was adopted too, and he had a disease. My heart sank. I had always wanted to protect him from the harsh realities of life, to shield him from pain. But now, I was faced with a truth I never wanted to confront. I chose to hide this information from Simon. Was I doing the right thing? I wrestled with the decision, torn between honesty and protection. I wanted to preserve his innocence, to let him enjoy his childhood without the weight of such heavy knowledge. But at what cost? As I navigated my own feelings of guilt and fear, I couldn't help but reflect on my own past. The orphanage had been a place of both joy and sorrow for me. I had been lucky to find a family, but what about the others? What about Simon? Would he feel the same sense of belonging I once did? Every day, I watched him play, laughing with his invisible friends, and I wondered if they were more than just figments of his imagination. Were they guardians, watching over him as he faced the unknown? I wanted to believe that. I wanted to believe that he could find comfort in them, just as I had found comfort in my dreams. But as the days passed, the weight of my secret grew heavier. I could see the shadows of doubt creeping into Simon's eyes. He sensed something was off. Children are perceptive. They pick up on the smallest changes in their parents. I had to make a choice. Would I continue to shield him, or would I finally let him in on the truth? In the end, it wasn't just about Simon. It was about me too. I had to confront my own fears, my own past, and the legacy I wanted to leave for my son. The orphanage was a reminder of where I came from, but it was also a place of hope. I had to find a way to turn that hope into something tangible for Simon. As I stood there, watching him play, I realized that the journey ahead would be challenging. But it was a journey worth taking for both of us. I had to embrace the unknown, just as he did, and together, we would navigate this path, hand in hand. I never thought my life would take such a strange turn. It all started with Simon, my son, and his insistence on these invisible friends. At first, I thought it was just a phase, a child's imagination running wild. But then, things began to escalate. The social worker showed up, poking around our shed, asking questions that made my skin crawl. I felt like I was being scrutinized, like every corner of my life was under a microscope. I had plans, I was preparing for a party for the children I hoped to adopt, a celebration of new beginnings. But Simon's fixation on his imaginary companions cast a shadow over everything. I could see the tension building between us, like a storm brewing on the horizon. I wanted to connect with him, to understand what was happening in his mind, but the more I tried, the more he withdrew. Then came the confrontation. I lost my temper, and in that moment of anger, I pushed him away. And just like that, he was gone. My heart raced as I searched the house, calling his name, panic clawing at my throat. I ran outside, frantically searching the yard, the neighborhood, but he was nowhere to be found. That's when the supernatural began to unfold. I started having visions, flashes of a masked boy, Thomas. I didn't know who he was at first, but he felt so real, so haunting. I could see him in my mind, standing there, watching me. It was as if he was trying to tell me something, to warn me. I couldn't shake the feeling that Simon was connected to this boy, to something that happened long ago. I dove into the history of our town, and that's when I uncovered the tragic story of Thomas. He had died in a cave years ago, a victim of a terrible accident. The more I learned, the more I felt a chilling connection between Simon and this lost child. Every clue I found led me deeper into a web of sorrow and mystery. I could feel Thomas's presence, guiding me, urging me to uncover the truth. I had to find Simon before it was too late. I could sense that whatever had happened to Thomas was somehow tied to my son's fate. The search became a race against time, filled with eerie occurrences that made me question my sanity. Shadows danced in the corners of my vision, whispers echoed in the silence, and I felt the weight of the past pressing down on me. I had to confront my fears, my doubts, and the reality that my son might be in danger. With every step I took, I felt the pull of the cave, the place where Thomas had met his end. I knew I had to go there, to face whatever darkness awaited me. It was a journey into the unknown, but I had to do it for Simon. I had to unravel the mystery that bound him to Thomas, to bring my son back home.
I never thought I'd find myself here, in this place filled with shadows and whispers of the past. The orphanage, once a sanctuary, now feels like a prison of memories. As I dug deeper into its history, I uncovered a darkness that chilled me to the bone. The social worker, a figure I once trusted, was driven by a twisted sense of revenge for the loss of her son. Her grief morphed into something sinister, and I became entangled in her web of sorrow. The day I found Simon's body in that hidden basement was the day my world shattered. The walls closed in around me, suffocating me with grief. I had come to this place to find hope, to rescue lost souls, but instead, I unearthed a nightmare. The weight of his absence crushed me, and in that moment of despair, I made the choice to join him. In the afterlife, I expected darkness, but what I found was a light that enveloped me. There was Simon, radiant and free, along with other lost children, their laughter echoing in a way I had never heard before. It was a reunion filled with love, a chance to embrace the role I always longed for, motherhood. I held Simon close, feeling the warmth of his spirit, and in that embrace, I found solace. We played, we laughed, and for the first time in what felt like an eternity, I felt whole. The pain of my earthly life faded, replaced by a profound sense of belonging. I realized that my love for Simon transcended the boundaries of life and death. I was not just a mother in this realm. I was a protector, a guardian of joy for these lost children. But back on Earth, my husband was left with the remnants of our life together. He found the chain I had worn, the one he gave me as a symbol of our bond. It was a tangible piece of our love, a reminder that even in death, I was still connected to him and to Simon. I could almost feel his heartache, the longing for the life we had planned. In this ethereal space, I wanted him to know that I was at peace. I wanted him to understand that my love for him and for Simon would never fade. I embraced my role in this afterlife, but I also cherished the memories we created together. As I look at Simon and the other children, I realize that love is a powerful force. It binds us, even when we are worlds apart. I am here, in this beautiful realm, where I can finally be the mother I always wanted to be. And though my husband may grieve, I hope he finds comfort in knowing that our love is eternal, that I will always be watching over him, and that one day, we will be reunited. Until then, I will cherish every moment with Simon and the other lost souls, nurturing them with the love that knows no bounds. If you enjoy what you see, hit that subscribe button and join our community. Don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss an update. Your support means the world and helps us create even more amazing content for you.